Hi everyone, this is Pierrick from P2 Design. I'm super happy to release this new video, which is a bit special to me. Based on this character animation, I will add an helmet onto it, making it jumping into the air and falling back onto his head flawlessly, achieving this in less than 5 minutes using space switching. To do so, I will use a trick I've learned following Richard Lico's latest course on Animation Sherpa. A little disclaimer here, I'm not paid nor endorsing Animation Sherpa or Richard Lico work. His animation course is just mind-blowing. The tips he shows are just amazing. I haven't yet finished the lecture, but so far everything is applicable in Blender. Richard is an Annie Award nominee and he's head of animation at Pierrick, working on Mouse. He also used to work for Bungie on Destiny 2 and his animation skills are just amazing. The video editing in his course is perfect. These are short videos, very explanatory. Each video is covering a specific topic or mechanism. This is not a cheap course, but the value you will get from this is incredible. But beware, this is not a course for beginners, but if you have a bit of experience in animation, or even if you are an expert and you want to level up and learn new tips, I can just truly recommend this course. So far it has been a game changer for me. If you're watching this video, you're probably a Blender user and you might be worrying because this course is in Maya. But trust me, we can achieve the same thing in Blender without any problem, and this is what I will show you now. And there will also be a little announcement at the end of this video. This is the very first trick he shows into his course, and this is already mind-blowing. Let's get started. So as explained before, I have this character I've animated for Nohara and a variation of the model as an helmet. Since they will be sharing the same rig and same animation, I will need the helmet to match this current animation. But that will be way cooler if I add some physical animation to this helmet, making it leaving the head and falling down back onto it. Okay, no problem, this is my job, so I will do it. I will play with the location curve of the helmet and I will try to make it leave the head and move into space before getting back onto his head. The problem is that I get weird behavior from the helmet when moving in space. While I'm moving its Z curve, it gets up but a bit backward. On the next frame it's going forward, and I'm now fighting with the animation, counter-animating it instead of playing with the animation. While I like fighting sports, I hate fighting with my curves. And this is because the helmet is parented to the head of the character, which does make sense. It will follow the movement of the head. But it means as a child that his local axis will be modified in world space, meaning that his z-axis won't be aligned with world space, and whenever the head will rotate, this axis will rotate too. Or actually, all axes will rotate, and they will rotate on each frame since the head of the monkey is moving, so I will have to counter-animate on every frame, and this will make both my animation hard to achieve and the result not that good. So the cool thing will be to be able to get rid of this parent relationship without modifying the current rig. To do so as a rigger, I would create more advanced mechanism with slider, and then I would have to animate the sliders, making sure that they match the current animation. Or if I was as clever as Richard, I would create an empty. Then we will constrain this empty to follow the transformation of the helmet. So let's add a copy transform constraint, source the armature, the name of the bone is control helmet, so I will search for it, and now my empty is stuck onto the helmet. But it's not parented, it's constrained by the bone, meaning that his local space is aligned with the world space and it's getting transformed by the constraint. Typically the kind of thing you will learn in my new rigging course. What I want to do now is convert the movement of the constraint empty as if it was not constraint, meaning that I will bake the current movement he has. The benefit is that I will be able to edit the animation while I can't really edit constraints. For the sake of demonstration, we will just focus on location. I will first clean the helmet animation I've tried to do before by removing every keyframe but the first and the last on the location channel. I will then get out of pose mode, select the empty and bake its current animation. So I will press F3 to open the search tool, type bake and use bake action. I will check visual keying and press OK. The animation has been baked, meaning that Blender has created a keyframe for each frame, recording every transform channel of the empty. It means that the empty has now the same behavior in space as if it was constraint, but I can get rid of the constraint. And the cool thing is, since this behavior has been converted as an action or an animation, I can modify it. So now if I constrain the helmet with this animated empty, the helmet will follow the animated empty. Selecting the helmet controller, getting back into pose mode, I will add a copy location and source the empty. Now the helmet is following the empty. And since it's aligned with world space, when I will work on the Z curve, for example, the motion will be up and down. It won't go forward or whatever. So what I will do now is to spot the frame where I think the helmet should leave the head and the frame where the helmet is supposed to get back onto the head. And I will limit the animation there because this is where I will be working. I will isolate the location curve because we are not working on the rotation of the helmet here. And I will work only on the Z and Y axis. I kept the side view for the purpose of demonstration. Obviously, I will need to also rework the movements on the X axis. So I will get rid of the keyframe in this time frame. I will convert both to vector, and then I will just add a new keyframe on the Z-axis where I think the helmet should hold a bit into the air. I will have a quick look, see if I'm pleased with the result. I feel like it should start a little sooner, so I will move on to frame 15 and repeat the process. And then I can play with the curve of the Z-axis to make the helmet stay a bit longer into the hair to stylize a bit the animation, and I will be done. I don't need to edit the Y-axis, I just needed to set it to a linear interpolation since the helmet will be moving forward at a constant speed. The last step is to transfer this animation onto the helmet, so I will just bake the visual action. The thing is that since the helmet is constrained, whether it's parented or not to something like the end doesn't matter. The baking will deal with the counter animation because it's using visual keying, so it will just bake the motion of the helmet from what we are seeing on the screen. Plus Blender is creating a new action for the helmet, so we won't be messing with our current animation. We just need to copy the location curve of the baked animation of the helmet, get back into our current wall animation and pass the curve, and we are done. The whole process real time took me maybe less than 5 minutes. While if I wanted to do it, let's say the traditional way, this will take me maybe 20 to 30 minutes and the result won't be as good. It will look very, very bad compared to this result. Just compare the motion path of the helmet on both animations. On the right, the curve looks like the perfect exercise of the bouncing ball, while on the left, I don't really understand what's happening, but it's not physically correct nor visually appealing. So again, a big thanks to Richard Lico for sharing this kind of tip, and this is the most basic tip he's showing. His course is a goldmine, and at the beginning of the video I was telling you that there might be a little announcement at the end of the video, and the time is now. I've got in touch with Richard and I've just finished the Blender version of the rig for his course. It will be soon available for free on his website, alongside with some add-on from my buddy Finn. Richard is super excited about Blender and I'm super excited about that. We will announce the release of this free rig in a few days. This is the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it and I will see you very soon.